Gibson.
Here.
Alderman Jim Gillum.
Here.
Alderman Darby Patrick.
Here.
Alderman Mindy Schubert.
Here.
Vice Mayor Teresa Mock. Here. Mayor Pat Stillwell.
Here. Approval and correction to the minutes of the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting on May the 23rd, 2024, and committee department reports and monthly financial report.
I have one I noticed, on the old business, to adopt the inter-nation property maintenance codes. It has me voting yes and no. I did vote yes.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, do I have a vote? Do I have a
I make a motion.
motion? Mindy?
I'll second.
And Teresa. Roll call, please.
Alderman Jim Bear.
Yes.
Alderman John Gibson. Alderman Jim Gillum. Alderman Darby Patrick.
Yes.
Alderman Mindy Schubert.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Teresa Mock. Yes. Mayor Pat Stillwell.
No. Visitors comment. All persons wishing to address the board shall stand and state your name and address and shall be limited to the brief presentation. And the board may not participate in the discussion and cannot vote on the matter on the subject you present. Absence of emergency and at earliest time, the board might discuss this will be voted on your matter will be at the next board meeting. Individuals and group representatives who have placed an item on tonight's agenda will be allowed to make a brief comment and when the agenda comes up and is open for discussion. We have any comments? Anybody? Well, we'll move on. Before we move on to the old business and everything, I've got a suggestion. I know that you were going to cut my pay about 3/4 the time, and everybody else has had a raise, but you want to cut my pay, and you all will get a raise. And here's what I would like to suggest, that none of us get paid, and we need what we can do is put in a trust fund for the Veterans Memorial, Memorial Place up in the park, and have their names put on it, and all people who have an honorable discharge, and also they can, to get their name put up, then in that fund right there, we can put anybody's name that's lived in Mount Carmel, or they are living in Mount Carmel, and want a plaque if they have been an honorable discharge. And that's what I say, if you take my pay away, then take your pay away and put it in with this trust fund.
First of all,
It's the next
well,
one.
it's not your pay, it's the next mayor's.
I think when you're out of order, everybody is, I guess that was gonna be considered your welcome from the mayor. But actually, that discussion should be when we come up with that, which is the item C under old business.
Okay.
That's when you probably would
Because
wanna
I
address
thought I
those
would
issues.
just make the suggestion there.
Yes.
All right, we'll go to the old business. This, discussion and consideration of the ordinance, we need to vote and do a second reading on the swearing him in, before we swear him in. So we need to vote, please. Motion.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All right. Roll call, please.
Alderman Jim Bear.
Yes.
Alderman John Gibson.
Yes.
Alderman Jim Gillum. Alderman Darby Patrick.
Yes.
Alderman Mindy Schubert.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Teresa Mock.
Yes.
Mayor Pat Stillwell.
Here. Yes. All right, if Jim would come up and.
Ready?
This is Todd
For all that
Ross.
don't know me, I'm Judge Ross from the General Sessions Court in Hawkins County. I've known Mr. Williams here for 15 years now, I guess, so worked with him for 3, and I've known him, and got made an excellent choice here, so proud to be here and proud to swear him in. If you'll just repeat after me, Mr. Williams. I, Jim R. Williams,
I, Jim R. Williams,
do solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Tennessee,
the Constitution of the State of Tennessee,
and the ordinances of the town of Mount Carmel,
and the ordinances of the town of Mount Carmel,
and that I will administer justice without respect to persons,
and that I will administer justice without respect to persons,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as judge of the municipal court of the county of Mount Carmel,
as judge of the municipal court of the town of Mount Carmel,
the state of Tennessee,
state of Tennessee,
to the best of my skill and ability.
to the best of my skill and ability.
We're glad to have you, and I know you will do a great job.
Thank you. We're going to slip out, no questions.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll go to B, discussion and consideration of the municipal floodplain zoning ordinance. Do I have discussion? Okay, do I have a, we have
I've got a
a,
question on that. Pat.
okay.
Just what is that supposed to be?
That is the
Ordinance?
that is put out by the government agency that requires you to adopt a floodplain ordinance in order to qualify for flood insurance and other things. It's something that you really don't have a lot of
Say so.
say so. I guess that's one way of putting it. But it's a federal, in order to qualify for the federal program of flood insurance and other things, you have to adopt the flood ordinance. And they basically supply it. We change the names to us and that's it. I mean, you're welcome to look at it, but, if you go in there, you can.
That's
you
all
can-
right.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna do me any good anyway. I don't know a place in this town where you're gonna get flooded out.
Hammer State,
Yeah.
It's,
Independence is considered
6 months.
Really? So I have to pay flood insurance.
Yeah, because you're right on
you
that
ever seen
creek.
it, that clogs up, it's backed up on the road, I've seen it.
I've seen it on the road.
Yeah.
It's probably been
But
under.
that's what it is, it's not something that,
I've been looking.
do ourselves, but it's, every town around here is doing the same thing.
Okay. Go ahead.
I make a
Okay.
motion to accept.
And I'll second that.
Alderman Jim Bear,
Yes.
Alderman John Gibson.
Yes.
Alderman Jim Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Darrell Hatcher.
Yes.
Alderman Wendy Schubert.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Teresa Mott.
Yes.
Mayor Pat Sewell.
Yes. Okay, we'll go into the next, discussion ordinance of 24-534, elected officials pay.
So this again would take place on the next board that comes in November. So it has nothing to do with this week. It's for the next board.
It wouldn't even take effect for the whole board.
Right, those that are up for, those that would come on the board in November, it would affect, then 2 years later, it would affect who comes on the board at that time.
But by state law, you're not able to vote to change your pay up or down. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's, to stop people from voting themselves raises, so you have to raise it in that. But it's saying is that the half of the board that's gonna be up for elections in November would be under that pay scale, or however you wanna call it. And then the second half would be with the next election.
And this pay that we get now, it came under, who did Tammy tell us?
Well, it may have been Gary.
It was Gary Lawson, is what it was. She said, told me it's Gary Lawson, so it's been in effect for almost 20 years, so.
Well, that's great. I make a motion to, make the stipend where it's divided up evenly between all members to a monthly, what was it, $166, not
And I'll
a
second
bunch of
it.
sixes.
And I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
I have one question for you.
Yes.
Is this first reading or second reading of this? It's first
This is
reading.
just be personal.
First reading. Thank you.
We'll need to have all the details, so.
Need to have it actually written out.
Yes, exactly.
Also, last time, I made a motion, we take it back to the workshop.
This will be the first reading of this.
We discussed it at the workshop.
Okay.
May I ask a question before we take a vote? I was not here at the workshop, I do apologize. Could you
So,
break it down for
the
me?
budget for the board mayor and alderman is 14,000. You divide that 14,000 between the 7 members, which is 2,000 apiece. You then divide that number between the 12 months, which comes to $166 and change.
Okay.
So it wouldn't matter.
That would eliminate the time sheets
Yeah.
for the next board, but the current board, like for myself and Jen, we would still have
2 years.
Yes.
Correct,
time sheets.
correct.
Okay.
And then after that,
Yes.
it would go.
Okay.
I guess it would also, that would be difficult, we may have to do some switch on the line budgets around because we don't know what the budget's gonna be for the ones that are under the old. So you're gonna have half on a percentage basis.
I see what you're
You would
saying.
have half that's also still put in hourly, and that may come out to be less or more.
It would be less.
Okay.
I mean, just doing the rough math on
Yeah,
it, it would be
but-
less. Unless there's a significant amount of committee meetings in a month, it would be less.
Okay, if it could be less, then at least we'd have the money in the budget. I was just worried about it
There'd
if
be a
it came out
surplus in it.
without.
That's just rough math.
And it's in the budget now.
That's all the questions I have.
Thank you. I still wish it was a smaller amount that we got each month. I just can't help it.
The management fees, it'd be $50 for how many years? $50 is a lot more money back when it first started.
Well, how about if we just say 100 a month?
That's about what it was when you first got it, it was about $100 a month then. Compared to what inflation is now.
Been paid
With
$100.
inflation, it's hardly nothing.
I can't never remember.
Okay.
paying
There's a
$100.
motion in the
I
second.
don't care.
You ain't never been.
I call for the question.
Gary, that was probably 20 years ago when you brought that up, almost 20 years ago.
Okay, so there's been a call for the question. Looks like should be a vote on that, and then we can go forward with, so.
Alderman Jim Bear,
Yes.
Alderman John Gibson,
Yes.
Alderman Jim Young,
Yeah.
Alderman Darby Patrick,
Yes.
Alderman Minnie Schubert,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Teresa Moore,
No,
Mayor Pat Stone.
no.
Okay. And that basically just ends a discussion on the, what they call the question. Now you're going to vote on whether you want to do this ordinance.
No, no. Just call for the question, let's take a vote, which we just took.
There's a motion in the second on the table.
Oh, there wasn't?
Yeah.
I apologize. All right, go backwards. All right, so you got the vote.
New business.
All right, that's where I'm going to speak up and ask the board to go into an executive session for discussion of legal issues. We are going to try to crowd into the mayor's office, I believe. Or, yeah, that's true, yeah.
She's got hers pulled up anyway, just do her.
Down to the sheriff's office, it'll be a short adjournment when we do the executive session. We'll be back.
You get out the sun a little bit, and the heads get red.
Doesn't
His
take
nose
much.
is still. Okay, we'll continue on this.
So we need a motion.
Make
Yeah,
motion.
I make a motion to authorize Mr. Cal to retain counsel for a potential pending legal issue. Is that?
Yeah, I'll say that.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Jim Bear,
Yes.
Alderman John Gibson.
Yes.
Alderman Jim Gillum.
Yep.
Alderman Darby Patrick.
Yes.
Alderman Minnie Schubert.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Teresa Moore.
Yes.
Mayor Pat Stone.
Yes. Okay, we'll move right on. Discussion, except the city hall,
One before that.
oh, yeah, skip that one. Discussion, consideration, approval of the, expenses for the, belt press rental.
Make a motion to the second.
I'll second.
How long you think they'll be?
I just think about
Vote.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Jim Baker,
Yes.
Alderman John Gibson.
Yes.
Alderman Jim Gillen, Alderman Darby Patrick.
Yes.
Alderman Mindy Schuler,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Teresa Moore,
Yes.
Mayor Pascal.
Yes. Okay, we'll go to discussion and consideration, accept the bid for the city Cascade improvement. Hyman Construction, $104,000. Any questions?
I wish we'd see the picture one more time.
I know, I got it on my phone.
Well, good, pass it around, please, before we vote.
I'll make a motion. I don't think we discussed this, we'll take that back to the workshop.
We have discussed this.
Will the bid still be good at the workshop?
I think it needs to go back to the workshop.
I'm saying, will the bid still be good? Will we go resolicit bids and go through all that if we did that again?
The bids expire.
I have to read what the bid document says. I can't recall.
The only question I have, and some people have made the remark that they didn't think that, paint held on to brick. I don't know. I know they painted a house in our neighborhood. It had really ugly brick. It was red and black. And the man painted it by hand, a cream color, and it looks beautiful. I can't tell. I have no way of knowing.
It holds really well when they whitewash it and stuff. And it looks so.
And so when you say whitewash, is that, it's not the same like enamel paint,
It's actually sprayed on, and it's got particles in it that adhere to the brick.
And it's over here, right, it'd be right over here, right?
It'll be
No,
over
it's-
at City Hall.
That's what I'm saying, over, outside, where the,
Can we-
is it right there where the post office, up that way, right?
the whole
And it
front.
has the.
Yeah, on the front of the house, front of the house, front of the.
I love it. I think it looks really good.
That's what,
I make a motion to accept it.
Okay, we just,
What was the motion?
To accept it.
do I have to say, who seconded it, Sue? Roll call, please.
Alderman Jim Baker,
Yes.
Alderman John Gibson,
Yes.
Alderman Jim Gillen,
No.
Alderman Darby Patrick,
Yes.
Alderman Mindy Schuler,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Teresa Moore,
Yes.
Mayor Pascal.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Well, I watched that battle, didn't
Big back when she does.
Okay, so, does that have to be paid up front? Okay, all right. Discussion discussion and consideration of ordinance 24-535, stormwater update. Could you please update that?
When Jim is here, he can maybe speak to it.
A little bit, I guess so, yeah, there you go. All right, I'll be happy. So, Jim Sullivan, we just actually went through a audit with the state, Tennessee Department of Environmental Conservation. We have a stormwater ordinance in the city, and it needs to be updated on an annual or five-year cycle. So we're due for our annual, our cyclical stormwater permit update. We are an MS4 jurisdiction, is what it's called, so we are regulated by Department of Environmental Conservation for our stormwater discharge to state waterways, being the Holston River, Sensabaugh River, and as a result of that, we have to have a stormwater program in place. So that's why we have a stormwater ordinance, and we are going through mandated, basically, updates at this time. So that's what this is about.
So our stormwater goes to the sewer plant first and then out to.
It does not.
the river?
Yeah,
No.
stormwater is separated, this is not sanitary, this is stormwater, so.
Like the rainwater.
Rainwater that's captured, correct, yeah. So the rainwater that comes off of your streets, rainwater that comes off the streets, parking lots, goes into catch basins, and then is ultimately released into the state waters. So because we have discharge going both into the Holston River and the Sensabaugh River, and we've got there's one other river.
Is
River
the creek
E too.
up here?
The other creek that's up here as well too. Those are considered state
Well, up
waterways.
there, and there's,
Right, so we have to have a stormwater ordinance in place, and we're regulated by the state for that, so,
So you're updating that.
that's correct. That's what we're doing.
So I make a
Anybody
motion
else
to
have a
accept.
discussion?
I was curious, the little creek on Independence, it looked like somebody had come and, sprayed all the greenery that was growing up in it, part of it, not all of it. Did you notice? I was
Some
wondering
parts
who
of it.
did that.
Probably the the homeowner in front of it.
I wondered,
Well, I wondered about that when I saw that, because all of it
Because
was,
he
I mean,
usually
it's so
goes
grown
through,
up.
he usually goes through there with his skid steer and cleans all that out.
it hasn't been cleaned out in a long time. It's a
No.
mess.
That's-
You would
It
think,
looks awful now.
I'm sure that Jim would agree that the landowner probably has no right without a permit to move them all over the course or killing that spray chemicals into the
Into
waterway.
a stormwater catchment, yeah, so we need to take a look at that probably, so.
I didn't know if the town had done it, we were gonna clean that mess
Town
out.
didn't
Feel
do
that
it.
grass and stuff up there.
Okay, we need to take a look probably. I'll see if I can take a look at that. and see.
You would think it would be, create flooding problems because it can't flow. There's so much,
Debris in there.
yes,
Yeah.
bad.
We've got a few issues actually in town right now. with
You're gonna
stormwater
update these
events.
issues then.
So, yeah, that's part of it.
Well, I'd make the motion to update everything. Do I hear a second?
I'll say that. And Emily, I hate to be so picky, but on here it says 535 on the front page, and it's a different number on the, it's 525. I don't know if it's important or not.
It should be
It is.
535.
Should be.
Okay.
It should be 535. It was just a typo
Yes.
error, I'm sorry. And we'll change it on, okay? Do I have a second, you said Teresa?
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Jim Dale,
Yes.
Alderman John Gibson, Alderman Jim Gillum.
Yep.
Alderman Darby Patrick.
Yes.
Alderman Andy Sugar.
Yep.
Vice Mayor Teresa Moore,
Yes.
Mayor Pat Still.
Yes. Well, this concludes, our, meeting. Mayor comments. I missed last month, and that's the second one I've missed in 6 years. But people were asking about where was I and everything. Well, we had a grandbaby to be born that night, and I thank you, Teresa, because I've got a lot of people saying that you feel in good. And that, but anyway, I called her 30 minutes before the meeting started, and my grandbaby had a hard time and had to go to Children's Hospital and everything, and so we were touching pins and needles and had to have a lot of stuff, you know, oxygen and all that stuff. And so I've had a lot of people saying that they prayed for us that night, and I know that Oak Grove prayed during the daytime on Sunday. And so that baby finally started healing that night. So prayers do answer. I mean, that was answered prayers because she was a sick baby, but she's healthy and doing really well now. She turned a month old day before yesterday, so. But it was touch and go there for a while. I mean, she was healthy and everything, but it's just some things happened that was not really, it's just important. You couldn't see what was happening. So thank all of you all that's kept her in your prayers, because the prayers are answered. And I want to thank also he's done gone, but I just think that we did a good job by getting Jim Williams, and I'm glad he took the job, and I'm looking forward to working with him. Okay, Darby, you have anything?
No, not right.
Mindy?
And I just want to remind everybody that next Thursday is our 4th of July celebration. Goes from 6:30 as the first band, and then fireworks at 10:30. So we've got 5 fans, we've got food trucks, we've got bounce houses, face painting, and of course fireworks. So
So all that is, you've got bands down there too? Okay, and that, what about the fall festival, you'll have bands there too?
We haven't even touched on this yet. Oh, it's.
Get you live dead first.
Yeah, let's get this one.
And usually they're planning it way ahead.
I understand,
Make sure you got money to do this and do that. John,
Echo what Minnie said.
Teresa?
I'm excited to see what City Hall's gonna look like when it's time to.
Jim?
I have nothing.
Jim?
Yeah, I
Jim?
do. I got something for, him. Are you gonna be able to set up the fireworks next week with the?
Yeah, we've got all that situated.
Okay.
It's up the field.
Yeah, I worked with the firework company and, BAE, so we're all good to go.
We're good. Emily?
Okay, I'm gonna try to get through this. Excuse me, I only made one copy. I'm just gonna read this. Yeah, I probably should have printed off copies, but I'm just gonna read it. I came to Mount Carmel as a CMFO during a time of challenges and uncertainty. Over the past 2+ years, following my appointment to town administrator, we have worked so hard to bring a sense of direction, purpose, and vision to our community. I've met some wonderful people, learned valuable lessons, and hopefully contributed to the growth and stability of Mount Carmel. It is now time for me to move on. Sorry. This decision has been incredibly difficult for me, both professionally and personally. I experienced many sleepless nights as I considered the best path forward for myself and my family. Please accept this letter as my resignation from the position of town administrator and CMFO for the town of Mount Carmel. My last day of employment will be Friday, August the 2nd, 2024. I intend to assist with a smooth transition and offer any recommendations on a path towards hiring a new administrator, finance director, and city recorder. We are fortunate to have Municipal Technical Advisory Services who can assist with this process. This journey has forever changed me. The town of Mount Carmel has allowed me to grow not only as a municipal manager, but as a person, and for that I thank you. To the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, I appreciate your commitment to our community. Although there are many different perspectives, we all share a common goal, working together through an open-minded, innovative community approach to provide a platform for excellent services. The number of positive changes in such a short amount of time is extraordinary and has not gone unnoticed. To our amazing employees, thank you for your commitment to Mount Carmel's mission of providing exceptional service. You are the heart and soul of this town, and I know you will continue to do everything in your power to maintain Mount Carmel's remarkable progress. It is you who make Mount Carmel truly a place to put down roots. I thank the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, the staff, and individuals in the community for their support and for allowing me the opportunity to serve as town administrator.
I won't say it too.
Anybody else have,
Yes, in light of the recent announcement, I would like to ask the board to vote to suspend the rules and then to appoint for lack of a better number, a 3-person search selection committee for replacement. It's imperative that, if at all possible, we have somebody in as quick as possible to possibly have some time with Emily before she leaves. They would need to work with MTAS and go about conducting the search on an expeditious basis. They could sort through a large number of applicants to get down to a smaller number, and then bring that before the board, whatever it may be. But I'm not sure it's possible to have anything done this quickly, but I would suggest we start now.
I'll make the motion to suspend the rules.
Could the board stay an extra few minutes to talk about this before everybody leaves?
We're gonna stay until we, if you kind of suspend the rules, that just means that we can talk about it.
Okay,
Since
okay.
it's not on the agenda.
Yes, okay.
Alderman Jim Bear,
Yes.
Alderman John Gibson.
Yes.
Alderman Jim Gill. Alderman Darby Patrick.
Yes.
Alderman Mindy Schubert.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Teresa Moore.
Yes.
Mayor Pat Stella.
Yes.
So I'm asking someone on the board to make a motion to appoint a search committee to find a replacement for Emily. Work with impasse, knowing that what would be the best approach and do it as expeditiously as possible.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
If you pass that, then we just need to come up with the 3 members or however many you think should be on it. So let's have a vote on the appointment of the search committee, and we decide.
Alderman Jim Bear.
Yes.
Alderman John Gibson.
Yes.
Alderman Jim Gill. Alderman Darby Patrick.
Yes.
Alderman Mindy Schubert.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Teresa Moore.
Yes.
Mayor Pat Stella.
Can it be the whole board?
Well, I'm afraid it's too cumbersome because then it means suddenly you have to look at every application. There's no applications that are easily discarded, okay? But if you've got all 7 members, then do all 7 have to approve, or is it the majority vote on it? Eventually, the board will be deciding who does it, yes. But I want to be able to get through the selection process. This way. I don't want to get through. I think it would certainly be best for the town to get through the selection process as quickly as possible. And we may have a thing where we're not only looking for some kind of CMFO, but also a town administrator. And we've been fulfilling 2 roles for this town during our tenure. We may be looking for actually 2 positions. It's unusual to have somebody in
Positions.
But I guess, it's not up to the board to, who we think should be on the search committee.
I just think we should do the CFO, get that done first. We can find someone to be the CFO, we can find later somebody that can do the recording and stuff like that.
Well, I think that's fine, yeah, but I think you should probably start the process at the same time. You may not give anybody from CMFO and then wait for that to fill up before you do. I would do them simultaneously, and then you decide if you don't want to hire them both at the same time. But the search should be simultaneous.
Can we put this, with the, like the planning, we usually do the planning, the whole board here do the planning and discuss it then, as we have to call a special
Somebody's
meeting?
got to be a point, get in touch with them, Taz.
We have a motion on the table to do the committee, is that what the ad hoc, I guess, committee would be?
That's the composition of the committee.
So at that point, how would we want to try to start to fill that committee? By we first need to designate how many people and then start nominating people? Would that be the best course of proper? Because I'm trying to select 3 or 4 people out of 3 or 4. I mean, we could nominate and do a committee and just get it going, because we can't wait on this for the workshop.
No, I'm
because
saying we could call an extra workshop, is what I'm saying. We
next
can
week's
if we
the
have it next week.
Next week's the 4th of July on Thursday. As far as the committee to I think we also ought to factor in getting like an input from a resident. Mr. Garrett, would you be interested in assisting with that? Mr. White?
Oh,
And just
yes, I would do it.
So I make nomination for Garrett to assist on that committee.
And also, I think Jason should get with the employees as a supervisor.
Yes, so I agree with that, as an employee.
Well, I agree with the final decision, but not when you're going out just trying to get names in, okay? I don't want to get too much, I don't want to get too.
Can we do 3 board members and 1 citizen and 1 employee?
The fewer the better.
I mean, I'm trying to get a mixture of everybody.
Well, I think you're right, when you make your selection, I think it's.
First you were saying get a committee to get somebody first, then have a section to filter them through.
And whatever the board's pleasure is, to just try to make it as streamlined and efficient as possible.
Okay, basically we need to nominate 3 aldermen to get started and go from there. The way we're talking
Well,
about.
if Mr. White's gonna be one of them, then, and we have Jason as another one, we would just need 1 or 2 board members.
Yeah, the board's
Well,
pleasure.
I think what he's talking about, start out with 3 board members, then after we get
There's no like set rules or anything, it's really.
Well, if we get 3 board members, then we can find somebody, then we'll go through the citizen and the employee, that's what.
As a final, like a
Yeah.
final filter.
We're trying to funnel it, because not,
Yeah, we're trying to-
we can't do 50 interviews in front of the board. You know, we can filter it down to 5 or 3 or something, and then bring the candidates in, and then
Okay.
let the board vote.
I'll make myself to sit on the board.
I vote myself to sit on the board.
I'll do one at a time.
I'm gonna make a motion, this goes to the workshop.
We don't have time.
Next week.
We can do it.
Next week's not the first, third, or second.
We have,
We have a,
I'm nominating myself too. So
I'm nominating
I'll
myself,
nominate.
we'll vote on it.
we need to do one at a
I
time.
know we didn't vote. It's like.
When we have 4 people involved, nominate ourselves, we're voting on these 4, 3 positions.
Just, we need to get something going, we need to reach out to MTS to establish a search process to further, I mean, another question is, we need to establish what the position description is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got, like, this is, yeah, exactly. This is the time when we've got to put a clear.
Yeah, so you forward the full minutes for the judges.
I think that.
If you want to have a vote that way, perhaps, and this is just a suggestion, you can have a paper vote where if whatever the number you arrive at, is 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, each of you votes in this, in order of their preference, would be on the committee.
That's a good idea.
And then we'll take all those and see who gets the most votes out of the board. That's the first person on the committee. The second one gets the highest votes where it is. But each of you would have to vote for whatever number of members this board's gonna have, or this search committee's gonna have.
Well, I did before, as far as sitting on ones to hire her.
No, that's right.
Again,
Both of them.
is it 2, 3, or 4 members you want on the search committee? Three, did you say 3?
I think 3.
3's better only because it's, the non-members don't have 2.
4, you could split 2, 2.
Yeah. All right, so 3, so if you're gonna have 3 people, then I think each of you needs a piece of paper and write down who the 3 people you want to be on the committee.
Anybody need paper?
You just knew it today in there?
Today? Yeah.
You all didn't know this before just a few minutes ago,
Today. Earlier today.
earlier today.
Yeah. That's
Well,
it.
this is the first time we've heard
This
this.
is, it's good news to all of us today. I mean, but we gotta do something. We can't.
If we have to do it, I'll come by, pick them up, and I'll bring them to Emily, and Emily can count them, all right?
I ain't got no paper.
I didn't even know.
That's right, that's the Pat needed paper, there's nothing on that, that's extra paper.
Oh.
I thought it was just-
I need a piece of paper. There you go.
Keep telling them. One's just the top one.
three, Alderman Minnie Schubert, Alderman Darby Patrick, and Alderman John Gibson.
Choose it. And I'll leave it up to the three selected when you wanna meet, and how you wanna do it, and I'll be working with them with,
Yeah.
do the MTEX contact. I don't know who that is.
Do I have a motion to, if anybody have anything
I've already
else?
sent it.
Huh?
I just sent it, Peter, and I'll copy you on email.
Anybody else have anything to say? I'll make the motion to,
And I second